So it's been about 2 months since I cut my hair, and I am still very, very in love with this TWA, and that's teeny weenie afro, for those of you who don't know what that means. I think that it is just the most freeing and one of the best decisions that I've ever made, and I am loving it. But I just recently figured out the perfect way to achieve my style, and I want to share that with you. Everybody knows that if your hair ain't right, listen, nothing works. Your hair has to be right, and you have to feel good about the way that your hair is styled, and I finally figured it out. I'm Melissa, and this is Couch Mom Club, and on my channel you'll find all things pertaining to motherhood. And today I'm going to tell you about how I style my TWA. So this hair, as I'm sitting here right now, is about 3 weeks old, and don't get me wrong, you probably should style your hair more often than every 3 weeks, and I do. But as a mom of 3, I tend to get busy. But the thing about it is that even at 3 weeks, it's still giving. It's still doing what it's supposed to do. This TWA is TWAing. One of the biggest pet peeves that I have with watching YouTube videos or, seeing things on social media, especially if I'm trying to learn something about myself, is that I can only go based on visuals and based on what the person in the video is telling me. Now, if you are looking for a way to style your hair, I'm hoping that this video is gonna cause more help than it is harm, because I'm gonna do my best to explain to you what kind of hair I have. It's not enough to see somebody like yourself in a video, but to know if the texture of the person's hair is like yours, or to know what it feels like, all of that stuff, you kind of have to rely on, a prayer because watching it through a screen, you can only do so much, right? So before I tell you about how I style my hair, I'm gonna describe to you my hair to the best of my ability. I won't use any technical terms because usually for just the average person, those things don't really mean anything. And I don't even wanna get into the 4C, 4B stuff because all over my head, I have different textures. But what I can say is that my hair is really thick. Like, I have a lot of hair on my head, and each strand of hair is thick. So it causes me to have a lot of volume when it comes to my hair. Naturally, I feel like if I were to just wash it and do absolutely nothing, my hair becomes a really big frizz ball. Besides the thickness and the frizz, my hair is hard to retain and keep in moisture. So I have to do a lot to get it to maintain moisture. And it's not enough for me to just, moisturize it and go. I do have to maintain the moisture by doing it several times a week, as well as wash my hair often. My hair absolutely loves water. It thrives with water. It just loves it so much. So I do try to wash my hair more often, especially now that my hair is really short. Washing it is a breeze, and I can do it very simply, and I always do it before styling my hair. When I talk about water and moisture, I tend to think about the porosity level of my hair. But if you're not somebody who really cares about that, or if watching this video won't know what it means right after, you can watch this video where I discuss porosity at more length so that you can get a better understanding of what it is. But just going forward, you'll just know that if you're looking at my hair and if you're thinking, okay, well, she looks like she has texture like mine, my hair just loves water. When it comes to parting my hair or sectioning my hair, I can achieve very clean and very straight parts, and that's because the hair follicles on my head are not tightly, placed. They're not all very close together. So I can get a really clean part, and the hair at the base or at the scalp it grows in straight. Even though my hair is really coily and curly, it starts straight and then it curls. So that's why I'm able to lay my parts very well, and I'm able to, achieve very straight lines when it comes to parting my hair. So now we'll get into styling and how I style my hair. And I think it's important to mention the problems that I face when it comes to styling my hair. So we mentioned before, frizz is a big thing for me. I have to do something to control my frizz, and my hair, the curls in my head do not clump together well. So I have to force my hair into a clumped curl position, and I'll tell you how I do that. And detangling is a huge issue. My hair gets tangled really easily. I have to work it through to get it really detangled. And these are all important things when it comes to achieving the afro or the TWA or the style that I like. And I achieve this style with these tools. So I use Blue Magic, which is a childhood favorite. I have not yet gotten over that. I still use it. I use beeswax as well as a styling gel or a curly gel. I use a denim brush. I use a tail comb. I have either some clips or some scrunchies with me when I'm styling my hair. I use my edge control, of course, for my edges, and I also use my bonnet. And this is just the styling tools that I use. Of course, as I mentioned before, I wash my hair first. I always start with clean hair because I don't like to apply product on top of product. So when I'm styling my hair, I will wash it first. And usually my style lasts for about a week. But as I mentioned before, this is 3 weeks and I haven't washed it or done anything to it. I've touched up my edges as I needed to, like when I'm going out. But as for the most part, this is a 3-week hairstyle. But by the end of the video, I am going to show you what my hairstyle looks like fresh when it's freshly done. So stay to the end and watch that, okay? What I do, as I mentioned before, I always start with washed hair. And in the shower, I apply the Blue Magic. I just use it to give my hair that final moisturize, and I use my denim brush in the shower to detangle my hair. The secret to clumped curls is the product, and for me it has to be a heavier product, and that's why I use the beeswax. The detangling process, because your hair, it will clump better when it's fully and thoroughly detangled, and that's where the denim brush comes in, as well as the tail comb. And then I don't use the brush to comb through the hair in order to clump the curls. I use my fingers to do that, but the brush and the comb I use to exclusively detangle and make sure that I'm taking my time so I'm not breaking or damaging my hair. So after I get out the shower, the first thing I do is section my hair into maybe 5 or 6 different parts. It depends on how many clips I've found that day, but I will usually section my hair off because it's easier to manage, and I will go section by section with applying the product, with detangling and setting it the way that I want it. With my hair, it works best if I first use the beeswax, just to put a really generous coat of beeswax on that section, and then I will detangle with the beeswax, and then I will apply the gel that I'm using for the day. So once I do that, I will set the section the way that I want it, and then I'll move on to the next section. So after I finish styling each section, I'll go in with my fingers and just kind of place the curls and the hair the way I want it. I won't overhandle it because I don't want to really manipulate my curls. I want it to dry the way that it is, and I will just kind of place it where I want it, and then I will style my edges with my edge control. And usually I'll just use the tail comb, but if I have an edge brush, I'll use that as well. And then I will go in with my bonnet and just leave the bonnet on. This step is totally optional, but for me, although I like my curls to be defined and, you know, kind of do their own thing, I want them to do their own thing within a particular shape. So I find that my bonnet or a scarf really helps me to achieve that shape. I wanted a tapered cut, but I wasn't willing to cut my hair all that short, so I kind of achieve a faux tapered look. I have gotten more compliments with this hair than I have probably in all of my days, and I've had a number of different hairstyles. And we used to do a thing called Finally Friday where I just did all things hair, but I thought, you know, I'll just incorporate my hair into my everyday content, because I mean, as moms, hair is a big deal, and as a black woman, trust me, hair is a big deal. So if you wanted to check out any of those videos, as a matter of fact, watch this one. This one is really cool. I talk about my hair in it, and you can get some tips and tricks to style your hair. And I'll see you in the next video.